I'm very excited about this segment. The term rules of engagement is linked to governance of wartime encounters. These rules govern how soldiers interact in battle. The rules of engagement in this program govern teamwork, which, when not properly executed, can become a battlefield. These rules began as a tongue-in-cheek, quick kind of chapter in my very first book on team building. That and all of my client work made me want to expand on the rules to provide practical guidance for team leaders. It seems that practical, common sense information is of more value now than any lofty theories. So here we go. The rules of engagement are divided into 3 categories: people, process, and product. We'll be covering the people, the human connections in this segment. These are really practical tips that focus on what it takes to make people maximally effective as they engage in collaborative processes. Think about how you can apply each of these rules of engagement as you lead. Think about practical strategies that you can use to implement them with your team or with your work group. More importantly, think of ways to create opportunities to apply the tips yourself in each and every activity. That's where you can really and truly make a difference with a daily commitment to implementation. Let me go ahead and get started on the 10 tips that will help you maximize human connectedness on your team. The first tip, or rule number 1, is to bring your head, your heart, and your hands. I really like this one. Your head, your heart, and your hands must be fully engaged. The head houses the brain. In other words, cognitive functions have to work. They have to be employed. That requires us to get off of autopilot and really think. The head also houses the ears. Listening is a critical component of collaboration, and it's one of the 2 essential communication tools. The capacity to hear different perspectives, to hear different voices, and to hear different approaches is a real cornerstone of calamity-free collaboration. The second essential communication tool is made simpler by the mouth, another part of the head. Collaboration requires the ability to clearly convey your ideas, your information, and the like. Lastly, the head houses the nose. Gut instincts, the ability to sniff out trouble. That's essential. So that's the head. Let's move to our hearts. Our hearts represent the passion and the commitment that we bring to teamwork. The heart pumps the blood throughout the body, just as we are able to pump vital energy and enthusiasm and commitment into the team. Just as our physical heart keeps the body alive, our figurative hearts keep the team alive. They prevent us from getting lethargic. But they serve another crucial purpose, the heart piece. When we listen with our hearts, our human core, we're able to forgive human frailties in ourselves and in others. The last member of this trio is the hands. You can be fully engaged on the cognitive level and have all the passion in the world and the commitment and the kindness of a saint and still not succeed at collaboration. The hands, that's what brings things together. They do the work, the actual work. The reaching, the teaching, the teaming, the facilitating, all of this happens by willing hands ably accomplishing tasks. Rule number 2, treat people the way they need to be treated. The golden rule states that we should treat people the way that we want to be treated. Well, if everyone were just like us, that would work just fine. But in any work environment, There are all sorts of people with all sorts of different needs. If you treat them in the manner that works for you, you may run the risk of alienating, annoying, or inflaming lots of people. Invest energy in learning how people want and need to be treated. While some people enjoy very direct communication, others prefer a softer approach. While some people need very detailed explanations, others just want the basics so that they can run with the assignment. Some people may have an attention to nitty-gritty details, and others may want to deal with the big picture strategy. Find out what works for your team members and go from there. Don't assume that everyone wants to be treated like you want to be treated. Of course, we all want respect, but we also want and need different things to succeed on the team. Get to know your team members and get to know their needs. Rule number 3, who you were doesn't have to be who you are. As organizations begin team building, people within the organization should begin developing new competencies. Even seasoned leaders need to be learning and growing. These competencies impact interactions and outcomes. They impact bottom-line results. Collaborative processes require a constant evolution of technical, interpersonal, and business competencies at the individual level and at the organizational level. Evolution is necessary. It's necessary. As you learn and grow and increase your abilities, what you'll find is that you're evolving into a more valuable team leader, a more valuable employee with lots of transferable skills. You're evolving. Rule number 4, remember the human element. Task and process are essential to the ultimate success of the team. But you have to first remember the people who get things done. Think about it. Everything that we seek to accomplish is accomplished through people. It's essential to nurture the people who make the process and the product realities. That means paying attention to individual needs, preferences, and styles. It also means showing genuine concern for the personal and the professional struggles that each of us undoubtedly faces. Rule number 5, arrive disarmed. People arrive at team meetings and other collaborative efforts in full body armor. They don their years of experience, their power, their position, their education, their authority, their political connections. They just come all revved up and ready for battle. Well, that's not so helpful. Collaboration requires a sincere belief in partnering. You have to be able to level the playing field by having a sense of everyone's worth and value. Leave your armor behind. Recognize that the administrative assistant brings as much value, maybe different value, to the process as a vice president. Each team member adds value that contributes to the success of the whole. Each person has unique expertise to share. Because cross-functional teams draw from varied parts of the organization, team members bring their own special intelligence. Draw on those varied insights to deliver the highest quality product. Rule number 6, whatever you seek, you're going to find. This is a takeoff on the old proverb, seek and ye shall find, and it's painfully true. Whatever you look for in collaboration can be found. People who seek collective synergy and goodwill find it. People who seek disharmony and discord, they find it. Sometimes I think they create it. People who seek innovation and enthusiasm find it. People who seek lethargy and business as usual, they find that too. The key is in the head, heart, and hands. Being actively engaged in really creating something that is positive reduces the likelihood of finding, or worse yet, creating something that is negative. Rule number 7, stretch. Stretch your mind, stretch your perspectives. Recognize the fact that your worldview isn't the only worldview. It's just yours. There are other perspectives, other ideas that have meaning and merit and worth. So stretch your mind so that you can hear, understand, and incorporate the ideas that come from other experiences. This stretching is really important. Stretch your body. Yes, I mean that. Stretch your body. Team meetings can last longer than we anticipate, and that makes us physically uncomfortable. So get up, stretch, move around, and have a little fun, maybe using yoga techniques or just something that gets your body moving. Teach your team members how to stretch. Rule number 8, be fully present. Collaborative efforts are enhanced when people make the decision to be fully present at each meeting or gathering. That means leave your work at your desk or in your office. Stop checking texts and emails. Stop playing with your iWatch. Be mindfully in the moment. For me, it means get off of words with friends. Be respectful enough to concentrate fully on the task at hand. That is sufficient, and those tasks should be important. Being present also means not disengaging when contrary opinions are presented or when the work gets really tough. You need to stay in it when it gets tough. Presence is necessary for progress. Rule number 9, innovation is everybody's job. We often look to the most creative person on the team to come up with the innovative, interesting ideas. Don't be reluctant to become that person. Unlock your ability to innovate by suggesting non-traditional approaches. The characteristics of innovators include their willingness to take risks. They're guided by their own core values, and they're willing to take action. Innovators are constantly learning and have self-knowledge. Start utilizing your own untapped resources. Lead the team in the quest to gather varied opinions, different approaches to get things done. Try combining even the most outlandish approaches and ideas. You're going to be surprised with the results that you get. So seek varied insights and multiple visions in your approaches to the projects that your team is responsible for. Rule number 10 is not what you say, it's how you say it. Know that most of what you say is valuable, although we know many people just like the sound of their own voices. What I'm going to ask you to do is to think about the message before you deliver it. People pay attention to the message, but they are also paying attention to what they see. So pay attention to your body language. Pay attention to your affect. You can be sure that your nonverbal cues can be getting in the way of your communication. Be aware of your tone of voice. Watch the language and the imagery that you use to get your points across. Pay attention to how you're modulating. I've always had a loud, kind of strong voice, and one of the skills that I've learned is how to speak more softly and more slowly. The other important piece about how you say what you say is where you say it. Select the right place and the right time. Most of us are less inclined to listen when we're in the midst of a crisis, when we're hungry, when we're distracted, when we're busy. So pay attention to the receptiveness of the people that you want to communicate with. Time your delivery appropriately. Be considerate of what's going on in their world. These 10 tools, these 10 rules of engagement, I hope that they're going to help you make strong human connections on your team. I hope that using them will help you build positive, productive relationships that will move your collaborations forward. Again, I want you to test them, try them, share them. Check out the Smichael Speaks podcast channel for more of these rules of engagement. Check out the library on smichelespeaks.com for lots of articles on leading teams and collaboration. Rules of engagement. It does not have to be warfare.